What if I told you that the next Google, Facebook, or Tesla isn't going to come from copying what already exists, but from creating something entirely new, something that goes from 0 to 1? Welcome back to Book Bites, the channel where we break down the biggest ideas from the most powerful books in business and personal growth. Today we are diving deep into one of the most influential business books of the decade, 0 to 1, by Peter Thiel, co-founder of PayPal and the first outside investor in Facebook. In the next 30 minutes, we'll uncover Thiel's revolutionary framework for building successful startups and creating monopolies that actually benefit society. We'll explore why competition is for losers, how to find secrets that others miss, and the 7 questions every business must answer. If you're an entrepreneur, aspiring founder, or just fascinated by how breakthrough companies are built, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell because this video will change how you think about business forever. So, let's jump right in and discover what it really means to go from 0 to 1. The challenge of the future. Peter Thiel starts with a fundamental question. What important truth do very few people agree with you on? This isn't just a thought experiment. It's the foundation of every successful startup. Thiel distinguishes between two types of progress. First, horizontal progress, which he calls going from 1 to n. This is copying things that work, taking something from 1 to 100. Second, vertical progress, which is going from 0 to 1. This is creating something entirely new, going from nothing to something. Think about it this way. When China builds manufacturing capabilities, that's horizontal progress. They're copying what works elsewhere. But when someone invents the iPhone, that's vertical progress, creating something that never existed before. Why do startups matter? Because large organizations struggle with vertical progress. They're designed for efficiency, not innovation. Startups, however, can make the crucial leap from 0 to 1 because they're small enough to coordinate around a single new idea. Google didn't just build a better directory, they created the PageRank algorithm. Facebook wasn't just another social network, they made real identity the foundation. Tesla didn't just make electric cars, they reimagined the entire automotive experience. Party like it's 1999! Thiel lived through the dot-com bubble and crash, and he argues we learned the wrong lessons. The conventional wisdom that emerged was make incremental advances, stay lean and flexible, improve on the competition, and focus on product, not sales. But Thiel suggests the opposite might be true. Bold plans are better than incremental improvements. A bad plan is better than no plan. Competitive markets destroy profits, and sales matters just as much as product. PayPal succeeded because they ignored conventional wisdom. They had a bold vision for digital currency, a clear plan, and focused on creating a monopoly in online payments rather than competing in existing markets. All happy companies are different. Here's Thiel's most controversial idea. Competition is for losers. Happy companies are monopolies, and all failed companies are stuck in competition. Unlike the traditional view, Thiel argues that monopolies benefit society because they have the luxury to think about more than just survival. They can invest in long-term research and development. They can treat employees well and consider their impact on the world. They drive innovation to maintain their position. Thiel distinguishes between creative monopolies and traditional monopolies. Creative monopolies are companies that become monopolies by creating entirely new categories, like Google in search or Facebook in social networking. Traditional monopolies restrict supply or lobby for regulations. Monopolies have incentive to lie about their status. Google claims they are in the advertising business, competing with newspapers, radio, and TV, when they actually dominate internet search with 68% market share. Meanwhile, competitive businesses lie in the opposite direction. Every restaurant claims to be unique, but they are all competing in the same crowded restaurant market. Monopoly businesses have four characteristics. First, proprietary technology that's 10 times better than the closest substitute. Second, network effects, where the product becomes more valuable as more people use it. Third, economies of scale, where the business gets stronger as it grows. And fourth, branding that creates a strong, unique identity. The ideology of competition. Society teaches us that competition is healthy and necessary. But Thiel argues this ideology blinds us to monopoly opportunities. Consider two businesses: a restaurant with dozens of competitors, razor thin margins, and constant struggle, versus Google, with 68% search market share, massive profits, and ability to invest in moonshot projects. Which would you rather own? When companies compete, they focus on beating rivals instead of creating value. They engage in price wars, copy features, and fight over the same customers instead of finding new markets. When Microsoft tried to compete with Google in search with Bing, both companies spent billions fighting each other instead of creating new value. Google's monopoly in search actually freed them to innovate in other areas like self driving cars and AI. Last mover advantage. Everyone talks about first mover advantage, but Thiel argues for last mover advantage, being the last company to make a great development in a specific market. It's not about growing fast, it's about generating cash flows far into the future. A company's value today is the sum of all money it will make in the future. To build a monopoly, start small and dominate a small, specific market first. Once you own your niche, scale up and expand to related markets. Don't disrupt. Avoid direct confrontation with established players. Amazon started with books, a perfect market because millions of titles made inventory management complex for physical stores. Books were a uniform product that was easy to ship, and serious book buyers were early internet adopters. From this monopoly in online book sales, Amazon expanded to all e commerce, then cloud computing, then everything else. PayPal first dominated payments among eBay power sellers, a tiny but vital market. Once they owned that, they expanded to all eBay users, then all online payments. You are not a lottery ticket. Thiel categorizes worldviews into four types: definite pessimism, the future will be worse, and we know why; indefinite pessimism, the future will be worse, but we don't know how; definite optimism, the future will be better with specific plans; indefinite optimism, the future will be better, but we don't know how. America has shifted from definite optimism in the 1950s and 1960s with the space program and interstate highways to indefinite optimism, believing the future will be better but having no specific plans. The problem with indefinite optimism is that people focus on improving processes rather than creating new things. Finance becomes more valuable than engineering. Companies accumulate cash instead of investing in definite plans. Everyone becomes risk averse. Apple under Jobs was definite optimism, with a specific vision for revolutionary products. Microsoft under Ballmer was indefinite optimism, with great profits but no clear vision for the future. Successful startups require definite optimism. You need a specific plan for how you'll create value and capture some of it. Build it and they will come is indefinite thinking. Follow the money. The most important pattern in venture capital is the power law. A small number of companies radically outperform all others. In venture capital reality, the best investment equals or outperforms all other investments combined. Most startups fail completely. Even successful IPOs often don't return much money. VCs can't afford to think in terms of portfolio optimization. They need to find the handful of companies that will return the entire fund. For entrepreneurs, this means don't start a company unless you believe it can become extremely valuable. Focus on building something that could become a monopoly. The difference between good and great is exponential, not incremental. Peter Thiel's $500,000 investment in Facebook returned over $1 billion. That single investment returned more than most entire VC funds.
Secrets.
Thiel argues there are still many important secrets left to discover. These secrets are the foundation of every great company. There are two types of secrets: secrets of nature, like undiscovered laws of physics or unsolved mathematical theorems, and secrets about people, things people don't know about themselves or hide from others. People don't look for secrets for several reasons. Incrementalism suggests if incremental progress is all we can make, there are no secrets left. Risk aversion means if you don't try, you can't fail. Complacency occurs because social elites have the most to lose from radical change. And flatness suggests if the world is flat, secrets would already be known and traded away. To find secrets, ask yourself, what company is nobody building? What industry has been left behind by innovation? Airbnb's secret was that people would stay in strangers' homes and strangers would rent out their space to others. This seemed crazy to most people in 2008, but it was a valuable secret about human behavior. Tesla's secret was that electric cars could be better than gasoline cars in every way: performance, design, and environmental impact. Everyone knew electric cars were slow and ugly, but Tesla proved otherwise.
Foundations.
The decisions you make at the very beginning of a company are the most important. Bad early decisions are nearly impossible to correct later. Choose co founders as carefully as you choose a spouse. Technical skills matter, but alignment on vision matters more. Avoid bringing on co founders you don't know well. Keep ownership among founders clear and simple. Don't give equity to advisors or consultants. Make sure everyone is fully committed. Thiel's law states a startup messed up at its foundation cannot be fixed. This is why foundation decisions are so critical. The mechanics of mafia. Thiel calls the ideal startup team a mafia, a group of people who choose to work together and genuinely like each other. Culture matters because talented people have many options. They'll only join if they believe in the mission and like the team. Strong culture creates competitive advantage that's hard to copy. Many PayPal alumni went on to create or lead major companies. Elon Musk with Tesla and SpaceX, Reid Hoffman with LinkedIn, Chad Hurley and Steve Chen with YouTube, and Max Levchin with Affirm. Recruiting principles include giving everyone meaningful ownership, creating a mission that attracts true believers, hiring people who are excited about working with each other, and not competing on salary but on mission and culture. If you build it, will they come? Having a great product isn't enough. You need a plan for how customers will discover and buy your product. Engineers underestimate sales because they assume good products sell themselves. They see sales as manipulation rather than communication, and they focus on product features rather than customer needs. Distribution channels vary by deal size. Complex sales over $100,000 require a personal sales force and long relationships. Personal sales between 5,000 and 100,000 use inside sales teams with shorter cycles. Marketing and advertising for 100 to 1,000 involves broad marketing campaigns. Viral growth under 100 means the product spreads through users. Most companies should focus on just one distribution channel. Companies that try multiple channels usually fail at all of them. Palantir uses complex sales to government and large enterprises. Box uses personal sales to mid-market companies. Facebook relies on viral growth among users. Google uses an advertising model that scales automatically. Even when there's no obvious sales force, someone is selling. Google sells to advertisers. Facebook sells user attention to advertisers. Apple sells the ecosystem experience. Man and machine. Instead of asking whether computers will replace humans, ask how computers can help humans solve problems. Computers are great at processing large amounts of data and following rules. Humans are great at pattern recognition, creative problem solving, and navigating uncertainty. Palantir doesn't replace intelligence analysts, it gives them superpowers. The software handles data processing, while humans handle judgment and interpretation. The best companies of the future will combine human creativity with computer processing power, not replace one with the other. Seeing green. Thiel examines why cleantech companies failed in the 2000s despite massive investment. The 7 deadly sins of cleantech were: no technological breakthrough, just incremental improvements; bad timing when the market wasn't ready; starting with small markets that stayed small; people problems with the wrong team; distribution challenges in reaching customers; durability issues with no competitive moats; and the secret problem with no unique insights. Tesla avoided these mistakes by creating a genuine technological breakthrough, building a luxury brand, and focusing on a specific market segment first. The founder's paradox. Founders are often contradictory figures, both insider and outsider, both conventional and extreme. Only founders can hold together the contradictions necessary for breakthrough innovation. They have the vision and determination to pursue seemingly impossible goals. They can inspire others to join their mission. Founders are often scapegoated when things go wrong, but also get disproportionate credit when things go right. This extreme responsibility is part of what drives innovation. Conclusion. Let's recap the most important insights from 0 to 1. First, go from 0 to 1. Create something entirely new rather than copying what exists. Second, build a monopoly. Competition destroys profits. Monopolies create value. Third, think definite. Have specific plans rather than vague optimism. Fourth, find secrets. Look for important truths that others don't see. Fifth, start small. Dominate a tiny market first, then expand. Sixth, sales matter. Great products don't sell themselves. And seventh, foundation is everything. Early decisions determine everything that follows. Thiel's ultimate message isn't just about building companies, it's about creating a better future. Every great company solves an important problem and makes the world more prosperous. What secrets do you see that others don't? What monopoly could you build that would benefit everyone? The next great company is waiting to go from 0 to 1. If this video helped you think differently about business and entrepreneurship, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more deep dives into the books that shape how successful people think. What's your 0 to 1 idea? Drop it in the comments below. I read every single one and would love to hear your thoughts.